Yes, yes, it's true. I may have bought an airplane. So let's find out on today's edition of AeroQuest. Hey, welcome back everybody to the AnKorage. It's Ivan, otherwise known as Shadow Strike, and it's a special video today. Just wanted to show you what I got. It showed up in the mail a couple days ago. I may have bought an airplane. Well, how can you? You can't send an airplane through the mail. Well, you kind of can. However, this goes back a few months. So, and this is before Christmas. I think it was somewhere in the vicinity of Thanksgiving. I can't remember exactly. I have to look back at my order and such like that. However, there is a plane that was free because it was abandoned, or that's how I saw it. That's how it was labeled and stuff like that. Free abandoned airplane. Wasn't necessarily abandoned, but because there is there was an owner, but it's it's something. It's a special aircraft, and it was discovered by a gentleman by the name of Jason for the YouTube channel Rebuild Rescue. Now, what these guys do, there you've got Jason, you've got Joe, you've got Sam, and a number of others and stuff like that. The gentleman by the name of Sam used to own this aircraft, and what Rebuild Rescue was doing, or they are continuing to do, is they go out and they buy aircraft to rebuild it, fix them up, resell them, to keep them out flying, to new owners, and it's for the general aviation community. And that, like myself, I go back. I mean, flying has been in my life for my whole life. I didn't actually start training to become a pilot until after I graduated high school, and I became a private pilot, and I've had instrument training, so I know it, but I haven't been rated for it. But I am rated for private pilot in a single engine land. That's the connotation that's given to it. So a single engine, so one engine, land, meaning a landing gear that's got tires, strictly landing on runways or grass fields, on the grass. Excuse me. And, but of course, I've been grounded per my own authority because of my issues up here, and, Swiss cheese memory, and similar things. So, but, the aviation community is still in my blood, and I still want to give back to the community in one way, shape, or form. I haven't been able to do it for the longest time, and even when I could, I forgot about it, and because I just never really thought of it as something to really participate in until within the last 6 months. So I've been slowly getting into it to the degree that I can, and one of them was possibly buying an airplane. And it showed up in the mail. So the aircraft is, it's a twin engine. It's got two engines. So, and it actually has the not today, but it had, when it was found, it had the color of the channel, the color of the home. It had green on it, a nice dark green on it, and so I'm going to read a little something of a card that was part of what came in the mail, and of course I'll need my glasses because since I'm getting older, I need them now. I'm only using readers, thankfully. So, the Cessna 401 is a twin-engine, low-wing, 6 to 10-seat aircraft built by Cessna Aircraft between 1966 and 1985. Designed to replace the Cessna 411, the 401, 401, received its certification from the FAA in October 1968. Our Cessna 401, 81 Alpha Delta, was built in 1969 and flew in the general aviation community until roughly 2006, when it was abandoned at KMQS for 15 years. KMQS is the airport identification, just so you know. Look it up. Let's see. In early 2021, it was rescued by Jason Morrison, and as of 2023, Jason continues to rebuild the 401, and it is featured on his YouTube channel, Rebuild Rescue, which has more than 40 million views. The 401 will fly humanitarian missions, veteran trips, animal rescues, and medical flights when completed. In late 2023, Jason collaborated with Plane Tags to preserve part of this Cessna 401. Now, how did it work to preserve it? This guy right here. This is a key tag. And what it uses is that it uses metal from the 401, and it's this piece is either taken from the wing or the vertical stabilizer. Most people commonly know that as the rudder. That's the part that sticks straight up. My bet, though, is this piece specifically came from the vertical stabilizer, because the wing portion doesn't have the green on the top. It had all green on the bottom. So this one here has white and green. So I think it's from the vertical stabilizer. And now why, and this, and I saw the metal getting cut out, and it's Joe is trying to be cute and go at it with a chainsaw, and it's like, dude. Granted, it was only for the funnies, but it was just it was a purposeful joke, because you don't take a chainsaw to metal, namely aircraft metal, and this item is it's a piece of the metal, and the gentleman that owned this is Sam, and unfortunately Sam is no longer with us. That is, it's a long story as far as the details go, but in the short, he owned this Cessna, and he was there when they were getting these all prepped up and such like that, and then we lost him. So it's unfortunate, and it's very sad. I was so bummed out when I heard about that, because he's a great guy. He's on the school board, or he's a principal, like one or the other, for a local school, and this thing is my piece. Now, of course, these are, it's the aviation industry. And to, average folks living day to day, stuff like that, some may not understand the depth of the expense on aviation and the requirements, stuff like that. So nothing is cheap. Pretty much. So these tags We're available on the Rebuild Rescue website, rebuildrescue.com. They may still be, I can't say one way or another. Jason may be able to confirm that. But these were going for $200. Hence, nothing in aviation is cheap. So, I wanted to give back to the aviation community, and so I went ahead and I purchased one of these. Initially it was to, provide that to Rebuild Rescue towards their projects, and but however, I found out afterwards that the outfit plane tags that manufactured these for them told them that all of the proceeds are going to be put out for charities. So they are not making any money off of it outside of operating costs, materials used, stuff like that. I would expect. So what we've got is we've got a piece of the outer skin of the aircraft, and it's painted this white and green. And I'm so happy that I got a piece that has the green on it because of the channel colors and the home colors. And so thank you very much for that, guys. I love this thing. And of course, I touch it and stuff like that. I get chills over chills fill my body. Because, some people may not understand it, but I can feel the contentment. Yeah. I can tell that Sam he's very content. He's pleasurably content. I wouldn't say happy because he can't fly anymore. He can't fly these awesome planes anymore. But so this is a great thing, and I very much appreciate it, and I like having it, and because this thing's got a picture of A1 Alpha Delta on here. I'm not going to be taking this off of this card. I'm going to keep this all together, and I'll probably just stick it in a plastic baggie to protect it from dust and stuff like that. And I love the fact that the back of it has that little story. And the tail number is, of course, 81 Alpha Delta. But of course, anyone that looks at it will see an N at the beginning. N in the aviation alphanumerics is November. I can recite the entire alphabet. However, that N in the United States is silent because it basically denotes that the aircraft is a U.S. Aircraft. So we only go by the actual rest of the registry after the N. So 81 Alpha Delta, and I love the fact that it's got that registry on here. That is excellent. That's awesome. I can also tell. I know the plane's name. The same. The 401 Phoenix and stuff like that. And that's going on with the word Phoenix and being rising from the ashes and such like that, which is more than excellent. But I know the actual name because, not to sound weird, but it told me, and touching it just confirms it. The registry is 81 Alpha Delta, and so based off the Alpha Delta or AD, the plane's name is Adrian. It's the female. The plane is a she, and her name is Adrian. Adrienne. Adrian. So that's all I've got about that, stuff like that. So it's a Cessna 401 Alpha, or 401A, and the tag on it, of course, says genuine skin, and it's number 92 out of 1,000. So apparently they got 1,000 pieces punched out of the metal. I mean, because granted, these are oval in shape, so they had to use a punch. So there was scrap metal left over. This gets recycled. And it says tail number November 81 Alpha Delta. So there we go. And it says on the card, genuine skin. And I more than believe that, because I saw them, taking a grinder and sawing out those portions to use for the tags. And of course, people don't necessarily have a full understanding about these things. This stuff is very light. It's very, very thin. I mean, it's almost paper thin. It's that kind of thing. But that's like on all general aviation aircraft these days. Because, one of the major things that you have to worry about is weight. You don't want anything to be overly heavy. So you want something that's going to be strong and durable enough against the air, against the wind that's going over the aircraft, but you don't want it to be so flimsy that it just tears apart like, tissue paper. So this is a sheet metal of sorts. This is steel, I think. It could be aluminum, but I think it might be. It's probably aluminum. I can't tell. But an ongoing joke with Rebuild Rescue with this aircraft was being full of bird stuff. Bird nests, bird droppings, you name it. And yeah, this plane was absolutely chock full of it, and everywhere. Not just in the cabin, but, in the body, in the tail, in the wings, everywhere. Just, collections of, bird collections of grass and nest stuff. And so I'm jokingly kind of bummed that I didn't get a little piece of bird stuff with this. And one of the great things is that this aircraft, it's actually going to be used for charities and veterans things. And it's going to be traveling all over the place, and they're going to be doing that, stuff like that. I myself would love to see this aircraft after it's completed. I just can't get down to Philly. I mean, it's not far from me. I'm up in New Hampshire. There's down to Philly. It's a hop, skip, and a jump as far as flying goes. I've flown down to Virginia before, and that was about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. But that, of course, was in a four-banger. Jason knows what I mean when I say four-banger. But it's basically, I'm in a single-engine aircraft. It's got 4 cylinders, and each cylinder has a bang because of the spark plug. So 4 bangs, four-banger. There you go. There's that joke. So I just can't get down there to look at it and stuff like that. If they, and I'm not going to ask them, hey, can you fly up to Manchester? Because I got Manchester Airport in a short drive away. And then I might have a video coming up regarding that airport. So keep an eye out for that. I'd love to see this aircraft. I'd love to take a ride in it. But I'm not asking for it. Stuff like that. I'm not an active pilot, but I am a pilot. I carry my license with me in my wallet wherever I go, so I've got it right over there on the desk. So, another thing is that, it was like a month or two after I placed the order, or we were coming up on Christmas, I think it was. I hadn't received it yet, and I learned that there was a production delay. So, there was a production delay on getting these things made up, and that was on I'm going to assume it was on the part of the key tags outfit themselves. I mean, they had all the metal they needed. They just couldn't get around to getting them all done in time. So what the guys at Rebuild Rescue did was, they're giving the 401, or Adrian Phoenix, a completely new paint job to match the channel colors, which is really cool because it's black, a dark shade of red, kind of like a brick red or maroon, which is awesome, and there's going to be some white in there too, and it's going to have a great scheme. And I guess they were, I don't know if they were feeling bad about the delay. I can only assume that they were, because when they were stripping all of the white and green paint off of this 401, they decided, we've got all of this trash paint that we've just scraped off the plane with, paint stripper and stuff like that, and what are we going to do with it? Are we just going to throw it out? No, I see, they saw an opportunity there, so they're like, why don't we take all of those paint chips and get some little transparent containers, put the chips in that, cap them off, put a little Rebuild Rescue sticker on top that's, looks like a laser, hologrammy kind of thing, and we'll sign these, and they were going to give them out at Oshkosh. Oshkosh is, that's out of Wisconsin, and there's a major aviation event that takes place there, and it's like the show to go to. I've never gone. I can never get out there for it. Would I like to see it? Maybe one day, but it's just not a bucket list item. So I've seen aircraft, I've been to shows, and I've flown aircraft, and it's like, see one, you've seen them all. Yeah, in some respects, yeah, but not always. However, I've got some right here, and I received this because I didn't receive my key tag when they intended for folks to have them by. So they sent out an email saying, we apologize, and they sent out these paint chips. So I've got them, and it's got paint from that they stripped off, and they were chips and stuff like that. But I just want to give a heads up to Jason. They settled during shipping, so it's more or less chunks and powder now, because of shipping and handling and stuff like that. It's never mind to me, because I do see the separation of white and green, and there still are a few flakes in there, and it's all good. And some of them did clump up into clumps, into chunks, but I can only attribute that towards the paint stripper that was still on the paint, that it dried like that and just grabbed on and held on. So I've got paint chips to this aircraft. I've got a piece of the aircraft, and I've got their signatures right on the top. And I've got Jason, I've got Sam, and I've got Joe. And with the recent events that happened at the beginning of February, or the beginning of last month, with Sam and losing Sam, is I have his name that he wrote on here, and I want to preserve it. However, weather today, my original plan was to take some matte clear lacquer that I've got, and I've got it up on the desk. I was going to stop taking the video, moving outside, and spraying the top of this with that lacquer so that it seals in that signature and preserve it. It's raining out right now, so we had snow earlier, and it switched over to rain. So I really kind of can't go out there, spray it, and let it sit and dry and cure. Could I go, stick my arms outside, give it a little spray, and bring them inside? Yeah, I could, but I don't want the stink. So I'm going to wait for a nice sunny day where I can just go out there and, give it a quick spray and put it down, let it dry and cure, leave it out there for that, and preserve the signatures. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. So I would like to thank Jason, Joe, Sam, everybody. I thank you very, very much for a piece of the 401 that I am saying is, Adrian, Alpha Delta, Adrian. And I'm going to cherish this. I'm going to try to keep it easily accessible at all times, have it right up on my shelf, have a special place for it, and keep flying, you guys. Keep going with those projects, and don't let all of the people that are bashing on you, because I know I've seen that there are, and I'm like, and these guys are like, it's like, they know the aviation industry and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, but, and I'm like, oh no. You can be nice about it. You can be civil about it. You just can't be a freaking snob about it. But anyhow, that's all that I'm gonna do on that there. And I do have other things going on regarding flying. I know that I can log simulator time, and I do have Microsoft Flight Simulator on Odin, the machine that I do the editing of these videos on. And Manchester Airport's in there. And the last aircraft that my father flew is in there. Well, not that exact model, it's the next tick up, but it's essentially the same. It's the same superstructure. So it's basically the same aircraft. And the aircraft that I'm, that I've got that I'm checked out on, that I'm rated for, is not in there. However, there's an equivalent that is. I mean, my qualifications are in the Warrior 2, Piper Warrior 2, low wing, single engine, fixed gear. In other words, it's got landing gear that's out all the time. You can't bring them in. You can't push them out. They're just there, and I'm fine with that. I'm actually happy. I don't have to worry about throwing a lever up or down, or forgetting about it, stuff like that. I just take off, fly around, and come back and land. Boom, happy honky dory. And so an equivalent aircraft would be the Cessna 172, and there is a Cessna 172 in the flight simulator. So I'm going to learn that plane, and I'm going to log some hours, simulator hours. So I've got my brand new logbook over there because my original one has gone MIA. My headset, MIA. My fuel tester, MLA. Or MIA, excuse me. MLA. What am I thinking of? But anyhow. Yeah, all of my stuff. My flight computer, my approach plates, my radio, my handheld radio, all of that. MIA. My kit bag is gone. So, which is my flight bag. So I've kind of recovered a little bit of it. I've bought a new headset, and I've basically reconstructed my original headset with a replacement microphone, replacement head pad, and it looks great. I've got those aside, and I also ordered special controls that I can use. A control yoke with a throttle quadrant, but of course, the actual levers are, the two end ones are backwards. The throttle's on the far right. It should be on the far left because, you fly the left seat. You're the pilot in command. That's where the throttle should be. No, it's got the red one. I forget exactly what the red one is because I don't fly multis. and it's got a manifold control, but I don't fly variable pitch props. It's a fixed pitch prop that I fly, so I don't need the blue. I don't need the mixture. The red's the mixture. Excuse me. How heavy you want the fuel to be passing through the carburetor. You know, you thin it out by putting less area, or you richen it by putting, you know, the least amount of air and the most amount of fuel together. So that's how I want it. I want it, you know, from left to right. I want throttle, mixture, and then manifold pressure, because I don't use those props. So yeah, might I do that someday in the simulated environment? Yeah, maybe, but it's no rush. But anyhow, so that's that. I have my airplane piece, and I have my airplane paint, and yeah, I'm going to spray a lacquer on the top, seal in those signatures, and preserve them. And thank you very much for providing me with those. I didn't ask for them, I wasn't expecting them, but because of the delay and you wanting to provide something, I very much appreciate these. So I'm gonna preserve this and help preserve Sam's memory. And you know, those of us in the aviation industry, these are my peeps. You know, I don't know them, I've never met them, but they're in an industry that you know, I was getting into, and just doing my piece to give back to the community. So hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I've talked too long. So am I going to go flying? Not in this weather. Am I going to go flying at all? As a passenger, maybe. Will I ever get to fly this actual 401? I can't say. I don't expect to. I'm not asking to. Would I certainly appreciate it? Yes, absolutely. But no. They're going to be busy enough. So there we go. And so thank you very much for checking out this video. Please subscribe, give it a like, all that happy joy. Comment down below. I would certainly appreciate that. And we'll catch you in the future in the next one. So Skál and drink to victory. Oh, my cup's up there. I'm going to go do that. So you drink to victory, I'm going to go drink to victory. So we'll talk to you later.